When you're looking for advice on money, where do you search or who do you go to? Um, you could be researching, asking questions on Reddit, on YouTube, on Facebook groups, on, I don't know, your family members, probably not coworkers, maybe friends. I'm pretty open about who I talk to money with, so um, I do hear and read the question all the time, where should I go for financial advice? Do I need a coach? Do I need a financial planner? So I just want to clear the air with just some basic explanations of what a couple of things or people are. So a certified financial planner is cool, regulated by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They legit. They are financial planners for long-term investments. You're talking about retirement, uh, investments, things of that nature. So you have brokers who basically help you buy and sell things. You have a real estate broker, a stock broker, but they specialize in buying and selling a particular asset. It could be stocks, it could be mutual funds, it could be gold. But then you have coaches. Coaches are not regulated. They don't have any particular certifications. Now, they can come with certifications. You just want to check and see if those certifications are from like an accredited institution or there's no point in the certification. So, do your research when it comes to that. You also have what I recently, in the last 2 years, found out, a certified financial counselor. Now, because I recently got that designation, we're certified by CUNA, or the Credit Union National Association. And we give a general coaching or mentorship or guidance to basically, if you have exactly what you need, you don't quite have that, or you have a little bit more, you need to know what to do with that. So we've got a good idea of a whole round picture of coaching and, just guiding people. And I mean, things like your credit, debt, budgeting, earning, spending. So I've been doing that for the past maybe I'll say 8 years. I've worked for credit unions, and it's been a very good experience for me, and I like where it's going. Um, like I said, I talk to a lot of people about money, my situation, their situation, kind of doesn't really phase me at this point. So, like I said, I do see the question all the time, where or who should I talk to? So, I guess the next question you might have, once you figure out who or what area you want to talk to, in a CPA. A CPA is a certified Uh, they do public accounting, maybe. They do tax advising, auditing, tax preparation, accounting, things like that. So once you figure out who you want to talk to, I'm gonna throw in a real estate agent too, because if you're looking to purchase a house, that's who's gonna be out there helping you search for one, helping you reach, your lender, the person or the company you're borrowing the money from. And that's a big one too. So yeah, back to what you should be looking for. So the number one thing that I think you should search for is someone who takes their time with you, someone who doesn't mind answering your questions, someone who's prompt. They always get back to you. You got to give them grace sometimes for some things, but they always make it a point to get back with you and to make sure that they follow up, at least if they don't, complete the task or whatever it is you need. So the second thing, maybe not so important, but they should specialize in the thing that you want. So if you're a first time home buyer and you're interested in investment properties, there's a real estate agent for you, somebody who is knowledgeable in purchasing investment properties, who can help you make that best decision on your first property, so that home that is your primary residence in the beginning is also a good first investment property when you leave and you purchase your next. So, or you could find a real estate agent who specializes in multi-families or multi-unit housing so that you could live in one unit and your tenants can help you pay for it. So there are groups within every single one of those professions who specialize in a certain area. So if you got a tax professional, they might specialize in you owing taxes. They might specialize in you being new to filing married, because we just did that for the first time last year. So think about that. And then another short and sweet, maybe it's more important than the second piece of advice. And I heard this one from one of my YouTube mentors. He said that you only take advice from people you're willing to trade places with. So that goes for any arena in life. You don't take advice from anybody that you wouldn't trade places with. Period. And that's the advice that I follow. So that's the advice that I'm gonna give you too on that. So as far as it goes for me, like I said, I've worked for credit unions for about 8 years. Um, it's been a journey. I love what I do, and it's been very interesting seeing the way that different companies do different things, and the missions that they have are so much different from banks. And I just need y'all, if y'all don't have a credit union, go ahead and search your local credit union and check out some reviews, get some referrals, ask some questions. You don't have to go in there day one and open up an account. Go ask questions. What's required of me to open up an account? What's your mission? Like, really? But anywho, yeah, my husband and I, we've been married for 4 years now. Been together almost, I guess, 8 or 9. We got married just a little bit before we had our first little boy, and we got married super simple. Our wedding was a whole whopping somewhere between $125 and $200. So we didn't have a ceremony. We literally, the day we got married, I think I called him and I don't even remember what I said. It was so random. It was like, "Hey, husband," and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yep, just took the marriage license to the courthouse, so we married." And then we finished our conversation. But we're going to that whole story and conversation at another time. But I'm just always made pretty good financial decisions, and even if I did make a messed up financial decision, I knew how to get out of it. And see, that's the whole thing too. There is levels to it, and I believe that as far as money goes, it's 3 levels, and 3 levels, you got to master 3 different skills and abilities, and it's you got to learn to you got your mindset, number one. Number two, management. You got to learn how to manage money. And number three, multiplication. And it is a lot, because honestly, like I said, most people think of money as just being physical paper, and that's it. And that's as far as it goes. I need that to pay my bills. I need to get me a couple things that I want to get by. I have these goals or these dreams, things that I want to do, things, experiences that I want to spend my money on. But are those things aligned with my values and principles in my life? And that's a big reason that money is so hard for a lot of people, because it's a trap, honestly, where everything is so physical, and we can't see past that. I think I said this before. I was maybe 22 when I started kind of figuring out that money is a little bit more non-physical. I'll say spiritual, but if you don't even want to say that, I'll just say non-physical than it is physical. And once you start to delve into that arena and think about money in a little bit deeper sense and be more conscious about what's really going on behind a dollar bill, you can't unsee it. And when you know better, you do better. Or at least I'm hoping so. So 2 months ago, I mean, I know my credit score is in the 800. I think it's an 804, but I'm in there. I just did a personal loan consolidation a couple months ago, so I didn't work for a period. I didn't work for a lot of different periods of times in the last 5 years, but most recently, I took out a personal loan at the credit. I took out a personal loan, and I consolidated some of the credit card debt that I had and got a more manageable payment and a payment that doesn't go towards interest. So we can talk about that later. But so I know I have an 804 right now. Me and my husband were lucky enough to buy our home together in 2020, and we got a 2% mortgage, and that was a game changer. Um, another credit union, check. It was 2% for the credit union that I worked for at the time, and I can't even tell you how much money that saved and how much money that puts on the table for opportunity and possibility in the future when it comes to equity and pulling it out and what we could do with it. But and then I own a home that I bought in 2015 or 16 that is a rental property. So that house is also a gem, I'll say. I purchased it golly, 2015 to 16. I said me and Aunt met then, but we met a couple years after. Anywho, I purchased that house in 2015 or 16 because that's when I got my real estate license, right before that. Um, but we we managed that property. We've only had new tenants or people that I didn't know personally in there for about 4 months now. Everything's going fine. For the most part, we've been over there once because of the hurricane that came through South Carolina. There was a tree that fell on the fence, so we had to go do some yard work and some stuff there for that. But it's been good for the most part. They cool people. But outside of that, that makes me just a little pocket money a month. It pays for our life insurance. That's a whole nother gameplay. Can't go into that right now, but that's a whole nother easy way to set that up for us. We don't have car payments right now. One car we paid for cash somewhere maybe a year after COVID, and then the second one that was our first loan together. We got that maybe a year or two after we got together, and we just paid. He just paid that off. We're joint on the loan, but he paid for that because he drove that. But that just got paid off. We're thinking about the possibility of jumping into the lease program, but only because he works for the company and the lease is set up a little bit different. So I don't normally recommend the lease program to normal people for normal use at all. But that we might do that soon, but for now we don't have a car payment. We don't have any childcare expenses. My husband's grandmother lives with us. She has since 2 months before our first son was born. So that's a huge help. So those are two large expenses. And then a car and childcare, and then the top mortgage. We got a pretty good mortgage too, especially for the size of house in the neighborhood. We made a good decision. Period. So if I had to give you just maybe a couple things to take with you, I need you to figure out how to align your values, your how you earn and spend with your values. And because basically it doesn't really matter how much money you make. A higher income is not enough. That's it. It comes down to money management. And the only way you're going to be able to really, really manage it is if it's in alignment with you and your life and you got to prioritize some stuff, period. It's up to you. And another thing that I need you to understand is time is not money. Time is way more valuable than money. And I learned that in the drive-through of a job. I opened up a pack of snack muffins and I started calculating the time value of money in my head, and it came down to that pack of muffins, it was that box of muffins, costing me like 30 minutes. And I was like, this can't be right. So the time value is not there. Like, think about it. Like, I understand I have a good job and you may have a good job, but at the end of the day, but a job is not able to pay you your true value. There's no way for them to determine it. It's no way for them to afford it at the end of the day. They make the job description, they determine the pay, and you hop in. You provide the value there. But if you really sat down and thought to yourself, how much am I worth? There's no way. So time is not money. Think about it. Also, another way I heard it put, if if I offered you $1,000,000 today, you would take it. But if I offered you $1,000,000 today and told you that you would not be here with us tomorrow, that would be a whole different story, because you know that time is more value than money. Subconsciously, inherently in the back of your mind, like it's there. And then making money work for you is an idea that I came across a little bit after I graduated college. I was struggling. Like, I was out there with my first big girl job. I was working third shift, 12 hours. Just got my new place out on my own, and I was like, bruh, this is not it. So, in just three words sums it up. 3 words. Income follows assets. Money follows things of value, and those things of value you can buy or you can create. And that's a big one. And I'm pretty sure I'll go into more detail, and I'm going to do a video on that one later. But at this point, this video might be getting a little bit too long, so we'll save that for later. And I will see y'all on the next one. See ya.